Video notes here. I'm working through this book called PyBytes Python Tips, and one of the chapters goes over using Python sort method. I spelled that incorrectly. So our goal is to parse through a list of names and order them by the last name. I got a list of names I've already put in here, and it's a string. One of the things we're going to do in the path of doing this, or the process of doing this, is we're going to title case these names, and so we want to create them so they read properly. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to need to split the names. We're going to use a split method. Now each of these names is separated by a comma and a space, and so this will look like this here, comma, space. We're going to use that as our delimiter, and as you can see we have returned a list. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply that or assign it to a variable. We're going to call it ln for list of names. We're going to say it's equal to names dot title, and then we're going to say dot split. Again, our delimiter is the comma space, and so we're going to say comma space, and now when we call it ln, here is our list of names. And if you notice, it's just in any arbitrary number. It's in the same order that the list or the string was. We say pretty print ln. This is what it looks like. Now this is where we get to the sorting method. So if we say ln.sort and we then call ln, you can see it's now sorted by the first letter of each of these strings in alphabetical order, which is pretty fun. If we say sort and then we say we say ln.sort, but then we can say reverse, call reverse true, it'll reverse the order of it. So now if we say ln, we got it starting with Michael, Kennedy, then Julian, James, Carlos, Brian, and Bob. Now the thing we really want to do is we want to see if we can sort these by the last name. And when we do, what we can do is say sort, and we can pass in a key. The way this looks is something like key, and we can pass in a key, which is a function. And we're going to create it here in a second, and the function is going to identify this last name here, the last name in this string, and it'll be something like last name, something like that. And it's throwing an error right now because we haven't created that function. So what we're going to do is we're going to just index a name right here just to see what it looks like, and we're going to define our function. We're going to call this function surname. We're going to pass a name into it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to return the name, and first we got to split it, and because if you notice we have a space in here, and we're going to make a list of this name, a first name, last name. So it's going to be separated. So we're going to call it split. Whoops. We need to add a space in there. And then we're going to index this list, and in this case Julian is the 0 index because it's 0 indexing. Sequera is going to be number 1. And now when we hit return, nothing's happened, which means it's probably good. But if we say surname and we pass in that same name, we index it, we get Sequera, which is cool. Another thing we can do is we can say for name in list of names, which is ln. We can say print surname. Let's see, surname and name. And now we got. Oh wow, that was of. Something's amiss here. Kennedy Sequera of Aachen Belderos. Why is it of? Oh, I messed up. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do this again. We're going to say surname. Let's just get a name again. We're going to say ln-1. We got to index the last name. So what we need is this last name, and I think I did the second one. So we're going to say define a surname. We're going to pass a name again. We're going to say return. Again, we got to say name. We got to split it, and it's going to be a space. And then we got to index the last name in there. So if we do this, it should be working. We say for name in list of names, print surname, and we're going to say list or name, excuse me. And when we do this, now we have all the last names. Cool. So that was a nice mistake to run into and fix. But now we need to pass this, our function we just created, into our sorting method. So if we say ln.sort, we can say key, we call it surname, and now we hit enter, nothing's happened. If we call surname, or we call list of names, you can see it is now ordered by B, K, N, O, S, and then S again, south. And so now we're actually ordering things in alphabetical order by that last name, which is cool. We can actually then also say ln sort. We're going to use the same key, surname, but then we're going to reverse it. And we're going to say it equals true. And now we call ln. It's now in reversed order, S, 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 O, N, which is pretty awesome to see actually happen. Pretty stoked about this one. Yeah, pretty stoked about it. Again, I got it from this book, PyBytes, Python Tips by Bob Belderbos and Julian Sequeira. Digging the book. Thanks.